Hey guys, welcome to my item level 340 plus item level easy guide. There's a lot of guides out here that kind of just go over the process of getting, mythic gear and getting ready for raiding at the beginning of an expansion. So in this video I'm going to be going over kind of how to get from fresh 120 to 340 item level. So first things first, you should have honored with a reputation from just leveling. Go to the emissary, whichever one you really want, and get the 320 cloak. It's pretty much just a free cloak that's item level 320. You won't replace it for a while. Another thing is emissaries also... reputations with the emissaries, it's working like Cataclysm in the fact that if you are high enough reputation with someone, they will give you epic gear. There's 335 gear from every vendor, and there's also 350 gear from every vendor. So if you want to get, guaranteed 350 gear, I'd suggest getting a contract, which is an inscription thing. Get the contract with whatever place you want the gear from, and then just grind out the reputation, and then you can also get gear that way. And I believe they have one 335 and one 350, but I could be wrong. Gearing up straight from dinging 120. The first thing you should do is unlock world quests. World quests are unlocked by having friendly with every reputation. The three main reputations, I believe, which are the Voldunai, Zandalar Empire, and Tolanji's Expedition. And then once you have those three reputations, you'll hit max level, you'll get a quest to go to the harbor on the ship where your war campaign has started. You talk to him, he gives you a Flight Master's whistle, and he pretty much just sets you up for world quests. So first things first would be just get world quests because they are very useful. They scale with your item level. Say if you have 320 item level, you'll get stuff that is 320 item level stuff on your world map popping up. Since my average item level is 316, I'm having 315 gear pop up on my world map. As you can see, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. And then there's also kind of higher item level stuff here, but another thing to keep in mind is that both Zandalar and Goltiris will have world quests. Whether you're Horde or Alliance, both of them will have world quests, no matter what faction you are. So, after you hit 120, get friendly with every reputation, get world quests. Once you have world quests unlocked, and if you still can't queue for heroics, you want to do dungeons. Normal BFA dungeons give at max level 310 item level gear, which is, that's the best you're going to get outside of heroic right now. Another thing you could also keep in mind is Island Expeditions. I haven't even done an Island Expedition yet, so I don't really know the gear you get from it. I've heard you can get decent gear like 315 to 325 gear. Some videos that I've watched only say weapons. I've heard people tell me in guild chat that they've gotten actual armor pieces. So Island Expeditions, if you're like waiting for a just dungeon queue time and you're below 325 item level heroic. Another option with gear is there's tons of honorable. Every profession has the choice to make an honorable combatants piece of gear. And each one of these pieces of gear, very overpriced right now, by the way. So if you're going to want to wait off on this, then go for it. But they're item level 300. If you buy like a full set of this, you'll pretty much be geared for heroics. But you can buy item level 300 stuff off the auction house, even though it will be very pricey right now. So there's that. There's 310 item level from dungeons. There's a world quest, which will scale with your item level all the way to, I believe, 335 or 330 right now. And then once you're about 310 item level, I'd suggest you do heroics. Heroics drop 325 gear. Every boss has a chance to drop 325 gear, and then you'll get about one piece of gear per dungeon. So, heroics and dungeons. Normal dungeons, heroics. You want to go from normals to heroics. Once you have probably like 330 item level, I'm guessing, you'd want to be doing mythics. Obviously, mythics give 340 gear, and I don't think there's mythic plus out yet, so that's something to just keep in mind. Whenever mythic plus do come out, you're going to want to grind that a little bit extra. And also another thing, weapons are a bitch to replace. Just keep that in mind. So if you come across a weapon on the auction house for cheap, then buy it. So you'll see here, most of my stuff is 310 plus, except for weapon in that hand. So obviously you're going to want to replace the lowest item level gear that you have. So one thing to pay attention to is always check world quests. Some hours, or sometimes I'll just log in, there'll just be tons of new world quests with gear. So this is one piece of gear that I'm gonna get as soon as I end this video, because it's a 20 item level upgrade, and getting that 20 item level upgrade will make the world quest probably spawn 320 gear instead of 315 gear. So that's the main reason you want to really keep out and keep attention to your item level. Outside of that, I mean, there's 355 crafted gear that you can get, even though it's going to be like 1,000,000 gold probably towards the very early months of the expansion. You can get 15 free item level from your Heart of Azeroth whenever you do that Magni world quest. All you have to do is talk to him and go through, I think, a cutscene. He'll give you 15 extra item level. What else? That's about it. There's Honorable Combatants gear, which is 300 item level, which you can buy off the auction house, but is very pricey. Other than that, world quests, get those immediately once you hit max level. If you can't queue for heroics, just queue normal dungeons. There are 310 item level gear. Once you can queue for heroics, that's 325 item level. And then once you are at 330 item level, you can queue for mythics, and mythics give 340 item level gear. One thing you can do to kind of surpass the item level requirement for dungeons, and I did this when I was leveling too, or when I first hit 120, was, so let's say I could only do normal heroic, or just normal BFA dungeons without heroics, because my item level's too low. You can pretty much just go into Group Finder, and there's going to be groups. You just type in dungeons, find a group, walk in. And most of the walk-in groups will have lower item level requirement. You'll see right here, walk-in heroics. So the whole point of this is that the item level that they have isn't enough to queue for heroics. So it's probably like 5 item levels lower. And if you are 5 item levels lower, you can still run a heroic or a mythic, but you just can't queue for it. So, well, mythics you use the pre-made group finder anyway, but for heroics more so. Let's say you need 310 item level to queue. I know that. Or 305. I think it's 305. So let's say you have 300 item level. You need that 305 item level to queue for heroics. You can just look for pre-made heroics groups here, and you'll find them. I mean, everyone's trying to walk in heroics. Most people are doing mythics now, which is interesting, but... so walk-in mythics and heroics are something to look into. And, yeah. Your Azerite, your Heart of Azeroth, I mean, it's just gonna happen over time. You'll get more item level over time, so it's nothing to really pay attention to. If you really do want to focus on it, you can, though. That's, I guess, my gearing guide. So, in review, world quests, do that as soon as you hit max level. Outside of that, just do dungeons. Obviously, the normal progression from normal dungeons to heroic dungeons to mythic dungeons. There's also Island Expeditions, which will give gear to a point, and then mythics will, I believe, outgear them. And then world quests will reset in gear and scale. The gear will scale with your item level once the world quest resets. So, that's my kind of gearing guide. My best attempt at explaining how I've geared, and that's generally how I geared. I haven't touched a mythic yet, and this is the item level that I have without touching a mythic, so, and this is very alt-friendly, I'd say, too. So, yeah, that's my gearing guide. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to watch my live stream, it's the first link in the description. I'll be streaming there every single day, for the most part, and, yeah, as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you guys later.